Hi, I'm Cedric Thomas, I'm the CEO of OW2, and in this presentation I'm going to introduce the Good Governance Initiative that was launched at OW2Con 20 last June. At OW2, an initiative is a joint effort by members and non-members to address a market need, and in this case it's the need to properly develop open source policies within large organizations. So we had three drivers behind the launch of this initiative. The first one was the recognition that large end users all had different ways to implement open source, and that they were not sure of what was the state of the art in this area, and we all needed to raise our collective expertise. So the second driver was that to do that, we needed a neutral ground, and that OW2 as a European organization, open source organization, could be the right place to do that. So, the third goal was that of we needed a European perspective because there is a strong connection between using open source software in order to develop some degrees of liberties and, of course, being in one's control of its digital sovereignty. So we were inspired by a model developed by Abraham Maslow of human behavior priorities that identify different priorities. It's a bottom-up hierarchy of priorities, with at the bottom the basic priorities, which are to be able to survive, to eat and sleep. The next level has the priorities to do this in a secure environment, then to be recognized in a group, then to be socially recognized, and then the top priorities are to be able to control one's life. So we reused this to build a model, a maturity model for open source usage, open source governance, with 5 key goals. One goal being the usage goal, the basic one, then the trust goal, then the culture goal, then the engagement goal, and then the strategy goal. These goals are contributed to or supported by what we call activities, and these activities are described and monitored by what we call scorecards. So the usage goal is the goal to be able to to have the basic skills in using open source software and understanding and being aware of all this technological environment that is a bit specific to open source. The next goal, the trust goal, is to be able to use open source software, develop, produce, integrate open source software, but responsibly and safely. So it's all about legal compliance, about managing vulnerabilities, and about managing software dependencies and using the right tools to be able to do that efficiently. So that's the second goal. The third goal is what we call the culture goal, is to make sure that the individuals don't do that in isolation within their own organization, in a silo, but are aware that they belong to the open source community at large, that they can communicate with other developers, other organizations, share concerns, share expertise, and be able to leverage the power of all this networking that the open source community is offering. The next goal is the engagement goal. So that is more from a corporate perspective. The idea here is to make sure that users, system integrators are not just consumers of open source software, but that they contribute back, they give back to the communities and contribute to the open source ecosystems and its sustainability. And the last goal is the strategy goal. The idea here is to make sure that open source is recognized at the top levels of an organization's management as an enabler of new process innovations, of digital transformation, and of digital sovereignty. So with that, we have a comprehensive blueprint for implementing and managing an open source policy, with the tools to monitor the progress and also to share this progress, to report the progress to other managers. So how you can get in on it? Well, it's easy. You just go to the OW2 website, to the Open Source Good Governance Initiative page, and you join the resource center that we've put together there, and especially the mailing list. So this is how you can get in on it, and then you can access to how we built the whole blueprint with the different technical resources that we have set up behind that. So with that, I'm looking forward to seeing you there, and thank you for your attention.